Good morning to all traders. Welcome to Market Insights. This is Thursday, the 21st of May, and Stavros is here. Today we're going to look at the FX miners. We're going to look at some very interesting pairs, including the GBP against the Aussie, USD against South African ZAR, then Turkish lira, as well as the Mexican peso. We've got two interest rate decisions coming in as well today for Turkey and South Africa. It will be a very interesting session. We've had yesterday, of course, risk appetite increasing, carrying on, building up on the Monday's news headlines, okay, despite the situation between US, China, and also Australia actually is deteriorating. Now, the Aussie has been moving up, and that seems to be a bit strange considering that there is going to be a trade war now between Australia and China as well. And that seems to suggest to me, at least, considering the risk appetite is also increased, that it's probably demand for iron ore that is actually allowing the Aussie to move up. Now, when we look at it against the pound as well, and considering the pound is also trading badly, to be honest, and that's because the yields moved into negative territory today, because the BOE governor finally admitted that the bank is really actively considering negative interest rates. Then there might be some pairs that they're going to take advantage of the situation. One of those, of course, is GBP against the Aussie, and this is what I wanted to start with. We'll have a lot of interesting headlines coming out today, a lot of PMIs from Europe, Germany, US, UK, and of course a lot of speeches with, of course, highlight being Jerome Powell's speech later in the session. Now, I want to start with the GBP Aussie, okay? It's the 4-hour charts. Actually, you know what? Let's go a little bit further out just so that you see what's really happening. I'm looking at this as an impulse move to the downside, right? Because I'm thinking I see this as primary wave 1, primary wave 2, and now we're heading down for primary wave 3. Or it could just be an ABC primary, okay? We're in the wave 3, well, so it doesn't really make any difference even if it's corrective or impulsive. Now, what actually are looking at over here is that we had a triple zigzag over here that ended, okay? This is what it looks like to me. Now, if we go a little bit lower down the 4-hour chart, we're going to see that this move to the downside is really unrolling in multiple degree waves to the downside, impulsive ones, right? So we had an immediate 1, 2, and this is minor 1, 2. We're expecting wave 3 to end over here, right? Like much lower than the current price. 4 is going to be a triangle or some consolidation or structure because of wave 2, and then we're going to get 5. That will be in the immediate wave 3, imagine. So there is a lot of downside to look at for this opportunity. We are minute 1, 2, and we're heading down for wave 3. So I'm seeing this 1, 2, 3. Most likely we're going to get some consolidation over here, maybe a little bit of a pullback, 186 or so, 186.2, 186.5, and then move down to end to wave 5 and minor 3. Okay, this is what I'm seeing over here. Now, there is no reason to go lower on that one over here. It's just, it could be a case where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and ending triangle, which means the minute wave could have ended right here, okay? That's why I wanted to go lower down on the 1 hour. Now, jumping quickly on, let's do the order that we see here. Dollar against the Mexican peso. We talked about this opportunity a while ago. We're expecting that to be wave 3, then 4 and 5 all the way up. AB ended here. And now I'm seeing this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is an ending triangle, right, for wave C. Now, we have actually traded below wave A, so we could have ended this move now with a throwback, and now we can indeed start moving higher, right? But of course, then the other case is that, you know, this is not really an ending triangle, and we're looking at this potentially being A, B, C, D, and E, and then move to the downside, right? So we really have to pay attention on the upside, the 25.28, okay? And in case we move lower, then that means that we've had waves 1. This is like a 2, wave 2, okay, like ABC over here, It's like a running flat, and this is a multi-structural wave 3. Then we're going to get 4 and 5. That scenario will take us lower, potentially to 2213, which shows the Fibonacci, 50 Fibonacci extension, and below wave 4 as well. Or we could just bounce off with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 at the 38.2, near 23, and then start moving higher. So you see many scenarios here. The thing is that the RSI doesn't show us any signals, and that usually indicates a continuation, okay? And the continuation in this particular pair is on the downside. Now, quickly on Turkish lira. We talked about this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It looks like to me that wave 3 in the intermediate degree has finished at 7.26, which means now we're going to get a nice correction over here, okay? Now we've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to get a 4, and then another move to the downside. That potentially is going to be wave A, then we're going to get B, and then we're going to get C, okay? This is at least what I'm looking at for the moment. Now, the RSI signal supporting the downside, it seems to me like the 5th wave that we're waiting in this multi-structure degree, okay? So once we get to 7.52, we could start getting prices moving higher for a short-term pullback, and then continue a little bit lower down to take out intermediate wave A. And then we're going to have B, of course, and C. This is going to be the end of the correction, and then move up for wave 5. And last, let's have a look at the USD against ZAR. Again, over here, wave 3 primary ended up there. Okay, we've got A, B, and a C potentially, with wave B being an A, B, C, D, E triangle. Okay, now that means I'm going to get 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 3 over here, 4, and 5. Okay, which means this is an impulse, but at 2 degrees structure to the downside, okay? Now, we didn't cross below A, and that seems to suggest that we might see that happening at some point very soon, around 1784 or so, right? Now, that is one of the scenarios, of course. We could just bounce over here and move up, or we could move lower if this is a 5-wave move to the downside. The other scenario, of course, is that this turns out to be a flat, because we've got, you know, A, B, and a C could be, right? Because we're still down there. So we've got ABC, ABC, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We could get that, no? And then from there, of course, that means that that will finish wave B, and then from there, we're looking for wave C, okay? That seems to suggest, if this is a flat, that we're going to see the pair trading between 1775 and 1935 for an extended period. Now, here we see some sort of signal here, but I'll be honest, it's not really validating any of the projections, any of the patterns we just talked about. So this is going to be for the day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.